Campbell talked a little bit yesterday about balancing scheming with just keeping it simple for the guys too. How do you, I guess, balance that out?
I think the reality of it is trying to take the complex stuff and make it simple. I think it's not always easy. I think especially in this conference, offenses don't allow it to be easy. There's a lot of different formations and plays and motions and tempos and everything that you can imagine. And so they don't really allow it to be real simple. So, you got to just try to sort out what you can and can't get done and, get it to your players as best you can. And, again, try to make it as complicated as it is for the other guys to look at, but simple for your own.
I read something kind of interesting about Oklahoma's new defensive coordinator, how at the end of practices he would always have kind of like a Q&A or like stick around and talk to players about things that they didn't understand to help them simplify the playbook. Is there anything special or unique you do to kind of help, I guess, ease that transition?
Oh, I think everybody in some way or another does that. I mean, we stay after practice, one night and walk through. And, I think our guys spend a ton of time in our building during the day, which is incredible. And, I think we try to make time for our players during the day and after practice and really whenever they need it. So I think we just try to make ourselves available so that whenever there is that question, and hopefully we can find the answers.
What night is that kind of walk through?
Every day. Well, yeah, I mean, usually on Tuesday nights. That's usually our first night out there in pads, and usually we do the walkthrough after that.
How much time do you usually spend?
Oh, I don't know. It varies. It varies.
Does Bowman, I think Eisworth said that one thing that makes him seem not like a freshman is he'll check it down, he'll dump down and just take what's there, and you kind of have to be ready for that a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, I think the guy's incredible to be a young guy. Makes all the throws, has great awareness, great field awareness, I think, great presence about himself of where the ball goes, and he never really tries to force anything, which is really kind of what Greg leans on. I think you see him, make throws where there aren't anybody and where there isn't anybody, and I have a lot of respect for just watching him play. He kind of just is incredible at times, and I think their O-line is really improved. I think those guys are really blocking like crazy up front for him, and they're getting running game going. They're scoring. They're number one in the conference in offense, and it's all documented how talented they are and how good they are. The wideouts are big and long, and they got a couple guys like Akeem running around out there, and so very difficult challenge at hand.
You mentioned the wideouts are obviously big guys, but how much does it help? I guess you see in that look, most.
Well, it helps. I mean, it does help because you at least understand what especially for our players, body type and techniques and things we have to do to help ourselves and that kind of thing for sure.
Kind of going back to that question about checkdowns, Marcel said yesterday that open field tackling is really important when you're playing against Texas Tech because they get guys in space. I guess, How do you work on that in practice?
Well, try to simulate it as best we can, get the ball in space. We all work tackling drills, and really, this whole conference is in space, as crazy as it is. The ball last week is in space. It just, every ball is out there. They're spread formations. They're going fast. The bubbles, the screens, everything that's happening is in space. And so I think our guys get a lot of reps, and our offense does the same. So I think that probably helps us as much as anything in my experiences of just that we get to see it all summer. We're seeing it all spring, and now we see it all season when we go against our own guys. So I think that's probably the most helpful thing, is that it's not new. And then again, you see it every week, and so we practice it like crazy.
With the, I know you were pleased with the new freshman redshirt rule. How has it played out? Has there been anything unexpected about it? Are there unexpected benefits and challenges as you navigate?
I think you're always doing that. I think that's two good words. I think you are always navigating where you're at and what game and who's left and what they got, and you're kind of tabulating what, should we, shouldn't we? They've got 4. Who do we need? Who's banged up? So I think you're constantly doing that. I know Coach Campbell's, he manages that, he and Coach Hillman, and They do a great job, and we just constantly are sorting through it, and it's constant discussion. We don't wait until. It's one thing I appreciate, Coach. We don't. We're ahead. We're trying to stay ahead of everybody and where we're going with it, and who may be available and who may not be available. So I think that's the key. But I don't think there's been any real things that are unique or different. I think it just takes some calculations and tabulations and all that.
How much has it helped you to be able to think about playing with that a little bit? Because Isaiah Lee has got in recently.
Yeah, no. Well, I think it's great for the kids, and I think it helps our older players. I think those guys that, those seniors that may get banged up, and all of a sudden a guy can go play and fill in and help our team, and their season isn't maybe washed away because a guy or two got hurt. And I think it's just huge for team football, and I think it allows those young kids to get a little bit of what it's really like, and if they deserve the right to do that.
Is Jaquan playing his best football right now?
Yeah, I would think so. I hope so. You hope every game gets better for all those guys. You hope your seniors are playing the best football they've ever played in your life, and you hope all the young guys are doing that too.
With the secondary against West Virginia, you guys got to move DeAndre around a little bit. How much does that help, having that positional versatility where you can move some people around to fit matchups?
Well, it's huge. Again, you're just trying to keep numbers back there. We're constantly trying to move guys around. The two young kids have done a good job, Datrone and Anthony, and so they've given us a little bit of depth because of being able to get in and play a little bit. And so, that's given us some depth and been able to move some guys then in the secondary at safety a little bit. So it does. It allows all those guys, and Deke can go back and play corner, and DeMonte Roos helped us some, and all that stuff. So it definitely is a factor. And excuse me. And I think it is for every position. I think our D-line has been thriving on the fact that they've got guys that can roll in there. So our linebackers have gotten better. They're playing 6 guys in there all the time. So it really helps, and it gives us a chance to do that as well. It's a long season, and we play a lot of plays.